everybody, and welcome to our Wildfire Reading Series. My name is Brittany Heckard, and we want to welcome you on behalf of Torch Literary Arts to the amazing Wildfire Reading Series featuring Ebony Stewart. Welcome back to Austin. Torch Literary Arts is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to amplifying Black women writers all over the world. We host our Wildfire Reading Series, of course. We have workshops, an annual retreat, and we publish our Torch magazine online, which is award-winning. So we're really excited about that, and we pay all of our writers $150 when they are featured because we believe in paying Black women for their work. So if you're interested, you can find more at torchliteraryarts.org. We also want to thank our funders because we can provide events for free because they are funding these fun things. So the City of Austin, Burdine Johnson Foundation, Austin Community Foundation, our community impact members who give monthly to support our events. And so we're so thankful that we can continue to host events for free. And with that, I also want to thank Bookwoman and Susan for welcoming us again and again and again.
Forever. Torch. Well, I want to welcome everyone. This is a special night to have Ebony Stewart here at Bookwoman and to see many friends in the audience, those we've worked with before and those who just participated in some of the reading series. And so the reading series are so important to our community, and we're really happy to be able to provide this space. In case you didn't know, we have a second Thursday ongoing poetry feature with an open mic, and Cindy's been, what did you say, 20 years?
14 years.
14 years. But it's been going 20 years. But yeah, Cindy took over, and that's every second Thursday. So any of you poets out there, please come and share your work. Also spoken word, and we've had musicians. So we have not had rap.
That's how much right?
Because I'm going to hit you up one of these days. I'd love to have you perform again. That was so much fun. So anyway, I don't want to take up a lot of time, but thank you. It feels a little bit like family here tonight, so I want to thank you so much. If anyone needs anything, please come see me. And we've got books. We've got Ebony's new book, and we have an older chap book and the book before Wash.
Yep.
So we've got them up at the counter. So, all right.
Ebony Stewart is an award-winning poet, playwright, and performance artist known for her powerful work as an artivist and social justice activator. As a 2017 Woman of the World Poetry Slam champion, she has performed internationally and authored acclaimed works like Wash, BloodFresh, and Home.Girl.Hood. She is the coach of the phenomenal two-time regional champs Smoke Slam, and Stewart is also a mental health advocate and former educator.
Hey.
So let's welcome Ebony Stewart.
Hey. Y'all all right? Okay, I just want to make sure that y'all know this is going to be like real informal. Okay, like y'all going to be regular, I'm going to be regular, and we're going to keep it moving. It's going to go by really quick. So I have like a 20-minute set to read some poems, and I want to tell y'all also, I had such a hard time choosing a set because in my mind I'm like, all day long a 20-minute set is 4 poems. That's it. That's all y'all get. Okay, but I was like, dang, I really want to read 7, but that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So too much, you know what I mean? So calm down. But what I'm gonna do is what I think makes the most sense is to start from whence I came. I've always wanted to use that in a sentence. So from whence I came, or whatever, and see how that works out for me. How I came. 1. My mother sat young and warm on top of the trunk of her father's Buick, running loose in books. She read with escape, unaware of her fetching hips and eyes, the way she pulled back the foreskin of men and made their tongues hang and scrotums ache. My father, a too cool he was, visited the house across the street from hers so he could lay his eyes to her skin. He invited himself over, too much hard, real smooth like a fast talker he was. His own kind of gentleman horny, the kind of man that gave up his jacket to shiver but had a mean streak, the kind that kissed foreheads but kept you from leaving. Say he love you, but sometimes it feel rough. His mother died before he learned how to appreciate the offerings of a woman. My mother was a new fool with sweet dimples and a suitcase, unaware of the spells cast into her spraying body behind her rib cage, in the way he broke her open, mouth wide, with a slight overbite tremble, asking, and yes, with her head back. 2. They made it out. Made one out of collarbone, wet necks, fingers, and hot breath. A slow tongue, a delicate caress, and deliberate sticky. There is no shame in wanting a body next to yours. The smell of us together is how we be grown. And some women are born knowing they want to be mothers. Some women didn't know what else to be, but needed the man to make it out. Still, there is no denying a love like this. 3. They made the other out of scrap screeching sirens that used to be a symphony, until a mosh got a hold of his knuckles. Baby girl is a wound twirler, be curdled roly-poly to his mean streak. Too rough he was with his voice when she could hear him on the inside. Some babies know some men can make good things. Some babies know some men ain't all good. When I'm born, he'll have scram for face. Girl, don't you know, when men leave, they don't come back until they do. 4. If you want to survive in this house, girl, you must first learn how to be ramshackle mouth and devastated heart. You must find your voice in the back of your mother's throat if she ever stops swallowing. You must always be reaching and pulling back dust. When it is something, you will call it not enough. Get used to the sound of the world falling apart in your mother's tears. Be forever searching for somewhere to leave your anger, to bury yourself alive in all this lonely and fuck up. Let someone you don't know or trust have all of you. You want to be loved, girl. Now, prepare your being for the drought, winter, spring, the growing summer's blood. Make your body an ocean's tank, be ready. When you dare, let sharks taste you. When they use their teeth to take and shred, leaving you a dissolvable chewed limb. Don't you know? That's how Jamaica got its rain shadow and Louisiana is jazz. Don't you know? They will eat all of your fruit, girl. Even the smallest bud you have yet to bloom. Don't you know? Brass and steel band. You are too much sass and strain. When they're done with you, they won't even name a parish after you or let you speak in your native tongue, but you wouldn't know how, even if you could. I get the question a lot of like, what do you write about? Especially like when you're on a plane and if somebody is a chatty patty. No shade to nobody who named Patty, but like tell your friends. Tell your friends stop doing that, girl. But like if you're on the plane and they're sitting next to someone who's a chatty patty, which I don't know what kind of face I have, but I don't feel like I look friendly. But to me, it's giving, okay? And they're like, "What do you do? Where are you going? What do you?" I don't know. They might work for the FBI, but I'd be like, "No, I'm a poet." And they're like, really? Is there money in that? And I hate that question. But even more so, I hate the question of, what do you write about? As if I have to be limited in some little small niche of something. But I do write a lot about womanhood because I'm a woman. And it'd be a shame if I didn't write about myself or for myself. But also, I can write about all kinds of things. But no one's ever interested in that part. They just want to know what specifically I write about. And in that, a lot of what happened with Wash is I took older poems and then meshed them with newer works, right? And so I looked at what is the conversation I'm having about coming into my full self as a woman, and what is the young girl that I had to leave behind. And in a lot of ways, I don't know how y'all feel about the summertime, like we live in Texas, but summers is hard. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just too much, actually. Some people love the summertime. I'm like, dang, that's crazy. What you going through? That you like the summer.
I love it.
You love it?
I'm like, I'm gonna
like, I gotta shut up. I'm a lover.
You wanna know what's going on?
Because I'm a sun child or something. I need that sun. No,
Okay, you wanna be sweating.
I don't mind sweating, you know.
Okay. I do not like it. It just be sweating all the different creases, and it's like, all right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how I smell to people. It's just too much to think about. But some people don't wear deodorant, and that might also be the problem. So I'm not telling you what to do with your life. I'm just saying that summers are tough. But I've always loved the fall. I love autumn. I love the way it feels. Like this kind of weather right now is literally my favorite. And I only use favorite because there's seasons, right, that I know of, and that's my favorite. But the summer leaves, too much to be, you get into too many things when it's the summertime. You get into too many things. So, when you're a young girl, this is called summer, and it's not maybe what you think. It is the year 1996. It is summer. It is hot. The smell of sweat and crazy is everywhere. It is a month after I become woman and pomegranate silo, 2 days before I will wad a pair of beaded panties to the bottom of the wastebasket, ruined again. I am all mouth, breast, and booty, endangered. Boys and men alike grab their piece when they see me. This is not the way you were meant to be noticed. They say things. They stare too long, make you draw into yourself. Forget they were born between a woman's legs, that I am the crown that makes them king. It is June. It is sticky. It is humid. The wind has forgotten about us. It is the kind of day your father curses the sun as soon as it hits his skin. Your mother's grocery list, address book, and whole hand becomes a fan. It is the kind of day you do not want to be punished or made to stay outside. Heated bodies just want to be cool. But children only go indoors when they're thirsty. It is the first time I will be licked. The first time I will be groped and experience my own thieving. The first time I will shout out of my skin. The first time a boy will mistake my body for bed. I remember he is the first boy I will escape who wants me so bad he uses his teeth with kiss. The first boy I will wipe my wet face on. The first boy I will use my knee against. He is the first boy I will hurt away. It is the hardest I will ever run home. The hardest thump my heart will ever beat. It is the first time I will learn to shower thoughts, to wash the fingerprints away, to rub so hard I bout bleed, to fester, to remember, to want to forget, to call me fault, to know I should have known better, to whisper apology to myself in passing women. I want for the universe to bring all of my stolen pieces back to me, still waiting. I've outlasted even myself. This will happen again. Little girl, she is becoming woman. And the summer has just begun. Thank you. So a lot of you know, because like a lot of y'all is family. Some people, I don't know who y'all is, but it might be your mask. But like, I lived here for like 13 years. And Austin will not let me go. Like, I appreciate it. I love it so bad. Like, y'all love me so bad. I love it so much. But I also be like, y'all know I don't live here, right? So people will hit me up, hey, can you come on tomorrow night and do this thing? I'm like, bitch, I do not live here. But yeah, I'm come. And so I'll be there in a little bit. So I'm always like back and forth here, and a lot of people know this, but I consider Austin to be where I got my start. It's where I came into my full self as a writer. It's where I learned about, like, you know, protesting, because, you know, they be taking it out to the street, honey. And I grew up in Baytown, Texas, which is right outside of Houston, Texas, and they don't be doing no protesting because it be hot. And what is y'all carrying on about? Like, that's how they feel. They gotta go to work. So, but I came here and learned about like protesting and becoming like my full self as a writer a little bit more. And it's where I like met my neo soul family and Black Child. And you know, Michael Whalen is literally the editor to every single book I've ever put out. You know, like, he keep me in line. And he never rude about it, which is great. Because sometimes I'd be like, Mike, I think that worked. And he's like, you know, maybe let's try this, you know, which is a gentle way to say, girl, please. But there was with Amanda Johnston, just to make sure that her name is in this space, she created, what is it called? Praise Song. And so she collected different poems from all over Texas, from these different poets. It's a really amazing anthology that's going to release very, very soon. And this is the poem that I want to make sure that I read that was an entry from that. I won't go into all the work you've done, the leaking, the beginnings you've carried, the dilating into a ready body with the opera-like mouth, pink and wide, but they won't let you speak. Less in boom pat a soft cry to survive, less in tunnel moan or please scream. In the South, every womb is a swamp and a sword fight, with no rights to what goes in or how it comes out. You gotta be loud and ready to be interrupted. You gotta be an unruly mob. Y'all remember when they called that? Yeah, they called that unruly mob. You gotta be an unruly mob, as if that is the worst of all the names you've ever been called. Never anything anyone wants, but always taken from. I won't go into the sacrifice, the forgotten worship and stolen pearl, how you had to drown a man alive, how you had to bend a hanger once, how you almost bled forever. I won't go into all you've had to endure, more interested in how your river runs clean, and how your dark rain grew, how your reverence comes out slippery, the way you get wet with repair, how you grieve deep and become your own prisoner, then flower bomb into art factory. How you've always been an exhibit of how to swell, how to swallow, and how to properly wear a crown. Thank you. Okay. So I have 2 more poems left, and what I want to say is, like, oftentimes I am always, how do I want to say this? Most of the time, I'm not reading poems. I'm like performing them and like doing them out loud. So just reading it is like, damn, I can read or whatever, that's what's up. But then it also gives it a little bit of, like, damn, I wrote that, that's crazy, like, moment. And I don't know if any writers ever had that moment where you, like, when you go back and you really, like, receive something that you like, girl, what was that? What's in place? But when you're reciting your poem from memory, a lot of times, us poets, especially if you come from a slam background, you are on autopilot a lot of the time. You could be thinking about a whole grocery list. You could think about, like, what you need to go do later. Or, like, if you got to pick up your kids. I don't got no kids, but I feel like a lot of y'all do. And so, like, this is shopping while hungry. And when I left Austin, I left Austin to follow my heart, right? One part of my heart was for me to become a full-time artist, right? So in 2015, I decided I'm gonna be a full-time artist. And which meant that my whole family was like, if you're gonna do that, you gotta move back to Houston. We cannot support you in Austin, girl. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. But then also I moved back and I was going towards my heart, right? The person that I was in love with at the time was there. And it made sense. And sometimes when I think about all the times I've chased love and then only to learn that there was something not enough for that person in me, is how you get shopping while hungry. Be honest. Salt, pepper, tell that one person you love them but cannot be a distraction for them right now. 3 carrots, y'all sound good together. Grab 1 more carrot, shit even look good together. Spicy too. 1 green chile, but we've all seen dishes whose looks don't match its taste. 1 celery stalk, 3 potatoes, ain't even fully learned how to love yourself. 1 can Hunt's roasted tomatoes sound crazy. Demanding love from somebody else though. 48-ounce beef broth, your heart is a measuring cup, but you keep telling yourself you don't measure up. Portions, I gotta live here, beef tips, I gotta take all this home to live with me. When you cooking, you expected to feed somebody. Let them sit at your table, let them eat from every clean dish you got Tupperware, but ain't never no leftovers. Italian dressing, if you eat alone, they call you lonely or boring. It's sad here. Keep telling yourself you ain't enough company to keep 15 items or less, self-check, flour. Gotta protect myself. I'm a woman that come with a whole lot of flavor. You tasty girl, damn girl, you delicious. Got all kind of seasoning, put your whole foot and the kitchen sink in, stupid. Tastes so good, make them want to stop you up with a biscuit. 15 items or less, got a line now. You ain't bring nobody with you to the store, so you gotta wait in the back of the line now, stupid. Practice patience, practice forgiveness. You ain't gotta want everybody that wants you back now. You'll get what you deserve. Self-check. Speak positivity into your life now. Ice cream, you sweet enough, girl. But what if you want something thick and sweeter than the savory plantains you got at home now? Damn. What go good with aches? A watering tongue, a sweet tooth? You be a glutton for punishment. Maybe you should just get some frozen yogurt. You know you've been trying to watch your weight. You know you've been trying to fit into that dress. You know you ain't got nowhere to wear that dress anyways. Girl, where you learn to forget yourself like that? Where you learn shame like that? Shit, you need to have garage sale. You need to get rid of some of this shit. 15 items or less, self-check. You need to remember you cost more than all this shit. Your love is worth more than the things that tried to buy you. You know what your problem is? You treat your self-worth like junk food. Substitute those tears for cran apple juice. This looks like a house that would have some cran apple juice. Substitute I'm sorry for I'll do better. Substitute let me talk for listen to me please. Instead of I want this to work, say I honestly just don't want to waste my time sacrificing my heart while giving away my body while you get my peace. Damn, it's exhausting being with you. Tonight I'm cooking something yummy for myself. Tonight I'ma quit going hungry. Feed the craving. Tonight I'ma make sure I'm full. So I have a new poem, and it just makes the most sense to read it in front of people for the first time ever. And I don't know why I'm even putting myself through that. You know what I'm saying? That's so crazy when I think back on my life. But here we are. And a lot of times, hey Joby, I love you. A lot of times when you create new work for the writers in the room, you want anybody to hear you. Like, let me show you that I be writing it sometimes. And mostly that's just for myself, because I also have these very dramatic moments where I'm like, I'm not a writer. I can't write anything. Everything's awful. But mostly it's just because I don't want to write about the thing that my heart wants me to write about, which is annoying. I said that I wanted to take 100 days off. I've been playing with this idea since 2015. I'm now in my 10th year this year as a full-time artist. And in 10 years, I haven't taken a break. I don't know if people know what that's like. Like, that's like, how? I think I even like, how? Because it used to be, during the summertime, you get a break, right? Because I was on the college circuit. But then people who couldn't catch you, during the season, is like, the summertime is when you got time? Bet, come here, do this, do these things. And I have a complicated relationship with money, meaning I have it, but I never know if I got enough of it. So as an artist, especially as a full-time artist, I'm always trying to pay my bills. So I'm like, I just got to make sure I got money all the time. But having 100 days off, I'm not sure how this is going to work, if I'm going to get tired or like antsy, or if it's going to be not enough time, or if it's going to be just right. It's giving Goldilocks. But I do feel like we might play with the idea of November 3rd to like February something, just to write, read, relax, memorize, just be to myself for a little bit. I've had like maybe like half a week off, and this is what I was able to produce. So it's called water therapy. Okay, y'all gonna listen.
Look over there.
Okay.
We got you. We got you.
All right. My therapist asked if I got a lot of shit going on. I say, yeah. She asked, how do you feel about it? I say, feelings aren't facts. She said, who was the first or last person to invalidate you? I say myself, to which she informs me that our next 4 sessions will be at the YMCA for water therapy. And because I pay her to tell me about myself twice a month, I don't ask any questions. Instead, I just trust the process. The first week, I had varying thoughts. It went from, if you wanted to see a bad bitch in a swimsuit, you should have just said that. To being extremely aggravated because, girl, what the hell is this? Cause see, this is why I hate coming to therapy. Cause y'all always making me do something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing until it's got everything to do with everything that I don't want to deal with. On our first go, we don't even make it out of the locker room. Instead, she hands me a Sharpie and a bunch of balls and asks me to write down painful thoughts or memories and emotions I'm still holding on to. Instantly, my eyes begin to swell and I hate her guts. I say, I don't got time for this. She says, you're avoiding. I say, girl, it's happy hour somewhere. She says, you drink to numb your pain. I stare at my feet and then look off into the distance. My mind swirls and disconnects evenly into nothingness. My ears muffle and distort until I can only see her mouth moving without sound. She puts one hand on my shoulder and says, you're disassociating again. The second week, my therapist asked me, what is my relationship to water? And all I can think about is drowning. How chlorine smells a lot like suicide, but not even bleach can scrub a psychological spot out. How one summer, a boy I really liked pushed me from behind into the deep end, and this is one of the first ways a boy will leave me breathless and gasping. How the boy bends the water into a mirror for testing, crossing, and asserting dominance. How the deep end becomes symbolic of the danger. How my fears turn into their fun. How poetic is this lesson I learned to write about being a woman swallowed by water, and no one jumps in to save me. Instead, they all give me a high five and say, but did you die? No. On the third session, I'm suppressing all of my grief, shame, and regret underwater. My brother is a letter in a bottle. My sister violates maritime law, and my dad is already gone. If my mother dies, then I'll have no one. Friends who lied on me, used me, and betrayed me, not being loved right, wanting to be loved right, my lonely, my rage, all this anger, my desire to be a mother, but my mother is a cancer. I mean, my mother has cancer. My mother is a water sign that can't swim, and now I can't either. Her dying is waterboarding me. Everything feels blue, and I don't know what to do about it. There's all this pressure to carry and force a ton, but all the balls start popping up and out, and I'm still trying to hold on. I really am trying to hold on and be disciplined in the performance and the routine. I use one hand to grip and balance, the other to grab and reach, one foot to push and climb, while the other foot is arched to a point, my toe to tip, and I become a water dancer. A black swan, a drowning fish. The water ripples like memories and splashes with applause. I'm holding on to all the balls, but who is holding on to me? By the fourth session, I'm standing in the water with my hands free, my feet planted, the slight bend in my knees. My therapist places one hand over my heart, tilts me backwards and tells me to breathe. She tries to teach me how to let go. She says, when I stop holding on to things, then and only then will I learn how to float. Thank you.
Okay, so the first poem, you spoke about your parents, your birth, and the life lessons that love taught. And so, and what love means to a woman, like navigating the world. What do you hope younger generations learn about love?
What I hope younger generations learn. That's a loaded question, because I don't even know if I'm not gonna say that. I feel like the younger generation should learn. I don't think about y'all. I got a whole life. I can't be thinking about these children. Children. I don't even got no children. What do you think about the children? Let me see. I want the children to learn. Nah, for real. I'm hoping that they learn how to love themselves. How to love themselves. How to be patient and kind to themselves. Because I think oftentimes the way we learn how to love is from our, parental upbringing in some ways. And then as we get older and more mature, we're either trying to undo some things or hold on to something. And so I'm hoping they learn how to love themselves in the way that makes sense for them.
I love that. I'm worried about kids either. But
I don't know.
I'm worried about my siblings.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, but yeah. So you mentioned Wash being a reflective work of old and new. Can you talk about some of the parts that you feel you left in Austin and discovered going back home?
That's tough. I loved being here in Austin. I loved it. It was kind of like a little bit of utopia where nothing was real. Like I was just like going through the motions a lot of the time. And I had like such a community about it. Like was out here by myself. I didn't have no family out here with me, so I had a great time. And then going back home for me was like harder, because you're going back to like what you left, and sometimes people are still the same, and you've changed so much. I had changed so much, and so I love that I got an opportunity to leave home and then go back home once I was sure about myself. But I think it has been reflective of my writing. So in some ways, I think my writing was a little bit more targeted, like on point. Like I was clear about what it is that I wanted to say, or I had a lot of like support just around that could look over my work or help me with stuff. And then once I got back home, I kind of was on an island again, because nobody in my family is a writer in that way. So they don't travel, they don't, do any of this. So I felt like my writing became a little bit more isolated and lonely, and I kind of was hoping that it would be relatable. I would just have to hope that it was relatable. I didn't have a lot of mirrors.
Thank you. It is relatable.
Oh,
That's
yeah. Affirm me.
I like to think like poetry, your poetry in particular too, is somatic in the sense that you're able to put words to a lot of the things people feel but don't know how to express or say. Earlier you were like talking, everybody was like, yeah, that one. Yeah, the shopping one, that hit. What is your what poem did you read, or do you remember you were like, that's it, and that's inspiring me to write more?
Oh, from someone else's work?
And yours.
Oh man, that's tough. Because I feel like I kind of nerd out about this stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I just be reading. I like to read. I like to utilize my brain in that way. So I'll just be reading anything from different comic books to, maybe a short story. But you know what? I always mess up the name of this book, but it's like the church women, the black women, the church.
Yeah.
Y'all know what is it? Help.
I know. I can't. I'm gonna go get it.
Church women?
Yes, is that it? Secret Lives of Church Women.
Yeah.
Man, if y'all get a chance to read that book, it has like a bunch of short stories in it. It'll really get you generative. Like, it's so raw and funky, and I love that kind of shit. I ain't ask you, child, if I could even be cussing on this thing, but that's what I do. So I'll flip it out later.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. But
Okay.
I'll have it uncensored on Wanda.
I know that's right, but that book really got me generative, and it's not even poetry, you know what I mean? It's just short stories that I love, and you get all these different flavors and types of ways of how women exist, period. And then if you add that aspect of like the church, child, how it has harmed people, it just helped me become that much more generative. And I love when stuff like that happens for me, because I can't even finish reading a chapter because I'm already over here on the side. So that book has stuck close to my mind in the most recent years.
That's all I have. Okay. You can open it up for questions, but just make sure, I guess, you come up here.
What made you get into therapy?
That was Black Child, by the way. If y'all don't know who Black Child is, you need to listen to their music. They're one of the best rappers here in Austin, Texas.
That's right.
And that is right. So and so period. I'm not changing my mind. What? The first time, you leave therapy and you be like thinking you good, and you go out into the wild, honey. You like, I need to get back in therapy where it's safe. I need to talk to somebody about this. So the most recent therapist that I had, what got me to go back to her, or start seeing her to begin with, is my dad passed away in 2022, and I really thought I was good until like I was having like all of these moments where just out of nowhere I'm like in tears. Like I would be so fine, y'all, like the whole day and whole time, and then I'd pull up to the place, now I can't get out the car because I'm having like a whole moment. And I was like, this is nuts. I cannot be doing this. The most recent thing is like I just be on, now when I get on planes, I have like a whole nervous, it's just a part of my routine. I just be in the seat crying, and the people be like, girl, please don't, you know what I mean? Like, don't make us have to turn this plane around because you over here crying. But yeah, I then learned that it was just my grief. I needed to work it out. I needed to take it to the gym, and therapy is the gym for me.
I guess staying on the same subject matter, when you like looking back in hindsight, what are some of the things you wish you kind of like would have embraced sooner in your mental health journey that would kind of like a block for you? Maybe that could have been a little bit more beneficial to someone who is just starting out. Because I'm just starting out, and I just kind of like want to know like what do I need to just do the Heisman on right away?
You know, that's an interesting question because I think that I know that your journey is going to be different. I used to ask people all kinds of things because I wanted to know, and then I would learn from asking them that our stuff is just not the same. You know what I mean? And so you're going to learn what you're going to stick for. You're going to learn that real quick as long as you stay tapped into yourself, as long as you stay honest and true to yourself. You have to develop a gut for some of these things. Like if your gut say, don't do it, you know what I mean? And then you're like, well, no, man, maybe. And then when you get there, it's shitty. You know what I'm saying?
Like it has always been.
Yeah, child, it ain't worth the damn. Why am I here? I've shown up to schools that literally forgot that I was gonna come. I mean, they still had to pay me, y'all, but I'm just saying that. Hold on, y'all gotta send a check. I don't know, that's y'all problem. But I've showed up to things, but I knew ahead of time because I had all of these different feelings and thoughts, and I was like, nah, I don't know, because sometimes I would gaslight myself, like, oh, nah, you just tripping, or you don't know, Ebony, you just give it a chance. But I think if you stay in tune with yourself, it's really, really good. Create a practice for yourself, like, I write a sentence a day, and sometimes that sentence a day has nothing to do with a poem. It just is for me to reflect on what happened on that day, so I can look back. Let's see, what's today? The 23rd. Yeah. October 23rd. Today I'll write a sentence, and then next year, October 23rd, I'm gonna look back to see what happened. But for me, that creates a pattern. So what things do I need to let go of, and what things do I want to hold on to? So as you keep learning about yourself, that'll be really good, but make sure they got a contract. I'm superstitious. I don't like my money ahead of time, but maybe like I need my money now. You know what I mean? But it's just different things you'll learn along the way. Get you a CPA. Somebody else got to look at these numbers. I can't look at numbers and words. This is crazy. But yeah, I mean, don't worry about. This is gonna sound so silly because I just before I just said what I said, but don't worry about the money so much, because like the universe will provide. If this is what you're supposed to be doing, it's gonna come to you easy. It's gonna come to you easy. Don't even.
I'm curious about your bold leap into being a full-time artist. I'm curious, just what are some things you would do differently? Just about that whole journey. It's fascinating to me.
The whole journey. What would I do differently? I don't know if I would do anything necessarily different. I think the journey I took led me to where I am. And I gotta give myself some grace on some of those things, because the turns that I took was just the turns that I took. You know what I mean? The chances that I even took was just the chances that I took. So, but I will say it was scary, and it felt, again, like an island, because nobody around me was doing what I was doing. And in some ways, my stepdad, this is so crazy. My stepdad just said this to me this past Sunday. He said, you're a pioneer. And I was like, I am? That was so dope. I had to look it up. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I'm a pioneer. But it's like, I've just been trudging along and doing what silly of a way for me to follow my heart, but at the same time it led me to all of these things. So it wasn't easy, but in some places it was, because I had an agent, you know, like I had agents that would help me with different parts of the country, so that was really nice. I was on the college circuit, so that was really nice. I started out in slam poetry, which I think helped, because that means that I have different communities that I can go into and do poetry, sell my books, you know, get videos, go viral on social media, because people care about that type of a thing. But yeah, like it's just been such a process. Like, you know, some people will say, oh, 10 years is such a long time, and they mean it's short. but I really be feeling these 10 years. I'm like, well, girl. A nap, you know what I mean? Like, what is a nap like? But it's been fun. It's been fun to be a novice in a lot of ways too, and explore what I can and can't do, and talk to like my friends who are like, what is this life even like? Who thought this is a life that they wanted? Yeah, it's been interesting. But people also say like really ridiculous things too, you know. So it's, I don't know. I feel like I can't pack it up, you know what I mean, nicely for you. But interesting is a good word. It's fascinating for sure. Yeah.
Was there a moment or a situation or maybe an accumulation that led to this kind of this shift in yourself that allowed you to say, you know what, it's time for me to go be a full-time artist? Like, what allowed you to make that shift in yourself?
Yeah, that's a good question. You always got good questions. When I lived here in Austin, I taught sexual health to 6th and 7th grade. It was like one of my greatest joys, right? I also like taught 9th grade English at Reagan High School. It's not Reagan no more. That's how I met Tiana Montefanta, right? But when I left and I started like teaching sexual health throughout, I was doing that. I loved it. It was great. It was super fun. At the same time, I got an agent, right? And I had submitted to this agency multiple times and they did not accept me. And then all of a sudden one day they did. It was so crazy because I kept submitting the same work. I was like, nah, nothing is wrong with what I'm doing. It's y'all. It's y'all. And then it worked, right? And I just started doing shows over here and teaching right here, like a teacher by day, poet by night. And then it started becoming where I was flying more and I was having to fly out to the West Coast specifically. And I would do this stupid stuff, y'all, where I would teach all day, and then I would catch a flight, and I would go out to Portland, comes to mind as a place that this really happened. And then I went to Portland, got there at like 6 p.m. or something, because you know the time goes back. And I got off the plane, got dressed real quick in like the airport bathroom, got to my show, did my show, went back to the airport, because you could do a red eye, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I did a red eye, came back, changed my clothes, brushed my teeth in the school bathroom, and went into the classroom.
Oh man.
Right? I did
crazy
that.
stuff.
It was so stupid. and the kids was just normal awful. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to me, they were really awful because I was tired. I was like, why y'all acting like this? And they're like, girl, what is going on? And so I was just really tired all the time, but I was like, I don't know what else to do. I want to follow my dream. I feel like I can do both. And my agent at that time said, Ebony, do both for as long as you can. And so I was like, this is what I'm doing now, right? And then one time I flew to the West Coast and I fell asleep in the airport on the way back and I missed my flight. So I had to call them and tell them I was sick. I was like, hey, I'm sick. And they was like, okay, right? Like, you're not coming in today? No, sorry, I got sick all of a sudden. But then I flew back and I told my agent, I said, hey man, I can't do this no more. Can you just book me out for the spring? Because this was in the fall. I said, hey, can you just book me out for the spring? Get as many shows as you can. Let me see what this is like, if you can do it. I didn't believe she could do it. This was in, I want to say, October. And then at the beginning of December, she sent me a schedule with, y'all, I was like, girl, now when? I was like, who? It ain't two of me, you know what I'm saying? But she booked out, like, for February. It's only 28 days in February, and she had 20 dates booked. 20 dates booked. It was crazy. And I was like, oh, shit, this is nuts. So I went to my supervisor at the time, and I said, hey, man, I got to talk to you. I'm sweating profusely, and I'm, like, super nervous. And she's like, what's going on? Is everything okay? I was like, no, I don't know. Yes, maybe. And so I told her what had happened, and she looked at me and she said, I was just waiting on you to tell me when you were going to quit this job so that you can go do what it is that you were meant to do. Because sometimes people believe in you and you just don't know that it's possible. She was like watching me the whole time. I was like, dang, did you know I called in? I was stuck in the airport. She's like, no, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, I was sick though. So I was stuck in the airport. Just kidding. But yeah, like that's pretty much that is pretty much the origin story of 2015 of me deciding to be a full-time artist, just because I couldn't take it no more. I was like, I'm stretching myself entirely too thin. I'm not my best self to these kids, and they deserve teachers that care and can show up for them. Because we talking about sensitive stuff anyways. You know, I got queer students who parents, you know how that whole thing go, and I needed to show up better, but I couldn't. I'm better serving of myself if I can, like, you know, take care of me and do what is best for me. But that was a long story long, but I didn't know how else to tell you.
But that's perfect, because it really, you know, it really just showcases, you know, you're prioritizing being able to do the art while you were working and creating a situation that led to the opportunities. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you write on the road?
Oh, I have such a hard time. So the thing is that, yeah, sometimes I can write on the road. Sometimes, a lot of times, I can't write on the road. Since I've started this new journey of grief, it's harder for me to write on the road. My brain is like doing a thing, always, and like, yeah, so it's harder for me to focus. But when I do write something on the road, I don't know if I like it right away. Whereas, like, if I'm just chilling, hanging out in my own space, and I have enough time to think about it, obsess over it, fall in love with it, hate it a little bit, then take it back, you know, the relationship, then I'm good, you know, then I'm good. Like, my memory works better. It's so wild. Also, walking backwards on your treadmill helps with your memory, just saying, not just your glutes, but your memory. So, yeah, I've gotten better at it, but not exactly. I know some people who can write on the plane. I'm not that girl. I'm asleep.
Currently, I'm applying to PhD programs.
I know that's right. Congratulations.
So, like, do you have any, like, I guess, like, tips or mantras or, like, strategies that you employ when, like, you look at the mountain and it's a little bit too big? Like, you look at, like, what's in front of you and it's just like,
Yeah, you know, I think some people, when they think about success, they think of all these different things. For me, when I think about success, I'm thinking about the fact that I've done it before. Like, if I've done this before, I could do it again. I just gotta, like, relax a little bit. But I would say going into any program, because I got my master's, which is not a PhD at all, right? But I got my master's, and 0 stars, wouldn't recommend, but I support you. And I would also say get you a team of people, get you a tribe. Get you people that's gonna hold you up and help you push you up that mountain. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be super important to you. People that's gonna, like, you know, I got a whole team over here of people that just really show up and let me vent on the phone and just, you know, cuss and say whatever I gotta say in a text, and then I'm ghost, baby. I'm not really good at responding back sometimes, but, like, I get my stuff off. You know what I mean? And then I gotta go. Okay, thanks so much. Glad I could show up in this way. But I think you're gonna need a support system and people that love you and actually see you and know you for who you are right now, and can watch you transform into who you are coming into. You know what I mean?
Well, a big, like, theme in your work is, like, your queer identity as well as Black womanhood. And I guess I just wonder, just because, like, I've been following you forever, but, like, how, like, did that come naturally? Was that, like, did it, like, naturally just become a topic, or, like, were you hesitant? Like, did you struggle with including that in there? So, like, I've struggled multiple times with, like, trying to, like, navigate that line because of just, like, who was hearing my work and how they saw me as a poet. And so I just wonder, like, what that journey was like for you.
I don't have a coming out story, because I feel like in some ways coming out stories is like asking permission for things, and I'm just living my life, so, you know what I mean? I give a the fuck real quick. Like, I don't care what you're thinking or what you're feeling about what I'm doing with my life. Baby, the plot twist is what you should be focused on, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't have a coming out story because I just did what I wanted to do, and I always have, always will. So then, yeah, it makes that writing a little bit easier for me, because I'm not concerned or even consumed with whatever type of hatred or think pieces people have about how I love who I love and when I do, you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like it does come just naturally and easy. I think where it becomes a little bit more challenging is where I can place it, where I can perform it, who's gonna allow me to share in these spaces, right? This work about these things. I have this poem called Box, which is about being a sexual health educator, and there are schools that wouldn't let me do it, you know? So they're not letting me do this about my students. They don't want to hear about, you know, what your relationship choices are unless it's you falling in love with this boy. You know what I mean? So I think I've gotten a little bit more clever in how I place those lines in my work, because I want to be able to share my experiences in my life as a writer the way I live my life as a woman, you know? Yeah. So I don't have no real tips or help for you on that. I just, because I know that you are a fantastic writer, I think that you should just, I mean,
Just in there.
yeah, I know it is. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really actually matter, because people are gonna have something to say regardless. They're gonna find something, and a lot of times that jealousy is envy. So it's okay. I know a lot of gay people that don't know that they're gay. Be like, wow, that's crazy. Whatever you gonna let me know, girl. we gonna be here to support you, friend. But you know, there in Wash there is Twitter Girl with Fingers, and about like bi erasure, you know, and so yeah, it's just one of them things you gotta kind of sneak in there certain ways, because everybody knows Twitter or X or whatever they call it, whoever, you know, I say whatever, you know what I'm saying, but it's a way to make sure that you're heard.
A big round of applause for Ebony Stewart.